Regular round CDBG funding, that's Community Development Block Grant funding, in the amount of $363,301 was used to construct a 3,500 square foot multi-purpose addition to the Northeast Recreation Center. The project provides 3 multi-purpose rooms, restrooms, offices, and provides handicapped accessibility to the addition of the existing gym. The City of Cleveland is fortunate to have an outstanding and dedicated group of department leaders and employees. And there's no better example of excellence than our city manager, Janice Castile, and her new assistant, Melinda Carroll. Both have been with the city for many years. Janice literally grew up at City Hall, working in various departments as city clerk and other jobs, and she is the right person at the right time for our city's growth. Melinda has been in purchasing for the city for many years, and she too has a diverse knowledge of how the city operates. Both are local, and both have the best interest of our city at heart. It shows in their day-to-day operation, and it shows in the caliber of department heads we have leading all of our offices. For the second year in a row, the Cleveland Police Department has been fully accredited by the Commission on Accreditation of Law Enforcement. The department is under the leadership of Chief Wes Snyder, who also grew up in the department in a family of law enforcement. Cleveland Police Department has more than 92 sworn officers, 26 civilian employees, and some 40 volunteers who make up the entire department. These are people who have made an all-out commitment to protect and serve the population of the city of Cleveland. Through a grant, soon we will begin beautification of 25th Street from Peerless Road to the interstate. And George, this has been going on for a few years, but finally we're about to see it happen. And we've received preliminary approval for a much-needed traffic signal at the 25th Street and I-75 intersection. Dalton Pike Widening Project continues, and the MPO, the Metropolitan Planning Organization, continues to focus on our future transportation needs. The MPO passed a resolution at its January 5th meeting to study an extension from Paul Huff Parkway to Freewell Road as one of several projects that we're looking for in the future. You may have noticed that in 2010, we completed new wayfinding signs in the downtown area as well as markers in the outlying area, designating, for instance, US 11 or North Ocoee Street as an historic highway. The new signs also direct visitors to the downtown historic area. The new Cleveland Municipal Airport is well underway. Opening can be expected in 2012, and with the new increased runway and improved safety resources, we're sure to see this new facility have a positive effect on our economic development and growth. I cannot say enough about our airport authority who made this happen and the impact they've had on making this much-needed project a reality. And I think Doug and Gary will agree, many of our industrial prospects have looked very favorably on our new airport. This year, the Traffic Engineering Department has been transferred to Cleveland Utilities. This was a cost-effective move since all installation and development is done there anyway. Hopefully 2011 will see adjustment in our traffic signals to be more coordinated with side street flow. Tom Wheeler leads a team of professionals for our public utilities, and he's to be commended for that. The unsung heroes, the City of Cleveland Public Works Department, the most varied of all city departments, responsible for everything from street sweeping to storm drain construction, and from fleet management to city building maintenance. Led by Tommy Myers, this department has about 76 employees, comprising the different divisions of Public Works. These employees are responsible for the maintenance of 320 miles of roadway, along with various bridges, drainage structures, and traffic control devices that are contained within the city rights-of-way. A good example of their duty was the snowstorms we have experienced since Christmas Day. Public Works employees worked around the clock to get main arteries scraped so traffic could flow. Then they began working on side streets and in neighborhoods. Then they began working on even some of the most remote areas to try to get them clear. Crews were so dedicated that they would alternate their shifts, so when someone was taking a lunch or dinner break, another crew would be ready to continue moving the trucks. Our Cleveland firefighters are now going into their second year as certified emergency medical technicians. They're not only qualified to fight fires, but also administer first aid care on the scene until ambulance personnel can arrive. Chief Chuck Atchley, a longtime firefighter, leads this department. The Cleveland Fire Department has over 98 full-time employees in 5 stations, providing fire protection to the residents of the city of Cleveland, which covers approximately 25.5 square miles. The city owns property for a 6th fire station off Westland Drive. Firefighters also provide fire services to the fringe area of Bradley County, which is any area within 5 miles of a city fire station. And as you've been reading lately, we are in negotiation with Bradley County for several options to continue an agreement to merge the 2 fire departments or each entity go on their own. This department provides Parks and Recreation, provides management and maintenance of our parks, playgrounds, golf course, greenways, and our urban forestry division. Under the direction of Patty Tinsley Pettit, we operate and maintain Waterville Golf Course, South Cleveland Community Center, the Northeast Recreation Center, now called the College Hill Center, Deer Park, Fletcher Park, Tinsley Park Recreation Area, greenways and walking trails, and urban forestry. Our tree board was selected recently as being the very best in Tennessee and will host the state tree board meeting later this year. We've been designated a Tree City USA for 19 years. This year, Cleveland was honored for the trifecta for our tree board, Cleveland Utilities Tree Line Award, and a Tree Campus Award. Mayor Davis and I, working in conjunction with the Leonard Center at Lee University, have formed what you're going to hear more about later, a Mayor's Coalition. The purpose is to maintain a central single phone number where people who need humanitarian resources in the community can be directed to the proper agency. There are many giving organizations in our community. However, the general public, especially our newcomers, may not be aware of all of them. The Ocoee Region Multicultural Agency I helped establish 3 years ago has been working recently to assist the more than 60 nationalities that now live and work in this community. This has proven a valuable tool in our industrial recruiting efforts. I also appointed recently a diversity committee to work with our human resource department to assist with diversity in hiring city employees. And finally, I mentioned last year I had proposed a Veterans Park but suspended any fundraising so as not to interfere with the proposal of the Veterans Home for Bradley County. Land was donated for the home and it's now well on its way. So we will soon begin again to establish this park. A small parcel of land was donated to us by Spring Creek developers and is located along the greenways at the new development on 25th Street. This stretch, as you know, was renamed Veterans Parkway through a bill introduced by State Representative Kevin Brooks, a perfect location for this project. We have an ongoing fundraiser to get seed money for the park. Residents can donate a tree in honor or memory of a veteran. Small plaques are placed at the base of the trees lining entrances to the Spring Creek development. The trees are being sold through the city of Cleveland and are tax deductible. You can contact the city, my office, and for $250 have a tree near the new Veterans Park marked in the memory or honor of a veteran. We already have about 15 trees designated for this purpose. When I began today, I told you a lot's happened since your last day of the city, and a lot has happened in the way of our city's progress. I firmly believe the new economy will see Cleveland continuing as a leader in the Mid-South. When I spoke here last January, I told Kiwanians first about my decision to seek another term as mayor of Cleveland, and that was in January 2010. Well, the election was in August, and I told you last year somebody will be here this year. I'm sort of glad it's me. However, in May, my wife Sandra and I were involved in a head-on traffic crash. We were both hospitalized. I had a broken leg and still have pins in one leg, but hopefully not as bad as you, Howard. But hopefully in coming weeks, these will be removed. She continues to recuperate. We both feel blessed that God spared us from what could have been a fatal crash. When it occurred, it was in the midst of what would have been a busy campaign season. I had to focus on healing and rehabilitation and just put my faith in God that what He wanted me to do in the future. Needless to say, August election has come and gone. The rest is history. I learned several valuable things during my lengthy recuperation. God is more than able. Just trust Him. Friends are a true gift. Co-workers and associates can get along without you at City Hall. City Council can get along without you, Mr. Poe. Old bones don't heal as fast as younger bones. If you can survive 7 weeks in one hospital room with your wife, you will probably stay married to her for another 40 years. And finally, though I may not always remember my own anniversary date, I will never forget Chris Newton's wedding date, and anniversary on May 15th, where we were headed the day of our crash. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, fortunately, Chris went on with the wedding. Even many of the wedding guests were tied up in traffic at the crash scene. Well, God is good all the time. And I want to commend the Kiwanis Club for your efforts in being a Flag City, USA. We continue that partnership, and we thank you for that. Thank you for allowing me to be here, and it's people like you here today, members and guests of the Cleveland Kiwanis Club, will help keep our city strong and make it one of the greatest places in the world to live, work, and raise a family. Thank you for allowing me to serve as your mayor. I consider it an honor, and I want to say about Mayor Davis, he and I worked together on many projects, more than you would be aware of. And we have a great partnership that I think because of that partnership, a lot of good things can happen in Cleveland, Bradley County. Thank you, Matt.